Mamas, I want to talk about stimming today. Stimming, of course, is not bad. I would never stop a child from stimming. It is not harmful in any way, but it is a symptom on the outside that you are seeing that is just saying something is going on the inside. And I want to talk primarily about the basal ganglia in the brain, because the basal ganglia is the filter where things come in and are supposed to come out properly. And when that doesn't happen, you can see symptoms on the outside, not only just stimming, but personality and emotions and all different types of motor activity. And I'm going to explain why and what we can do about it. So there are a lot of motor inputs going into the basal ganglia. So, grabbing a drink, putting it to your mouth, or maybe saying a certain thing at a certain time, making movements that make sense. The basal ganglia is supposed to say, yes, that makes sense, do that. That's an unnecessary movement. We don't need to do that right now. It also is a center of dopamine regulation. When we have too much dopamine, because it's either not being broken down or there are reasons that the body is producing too much dopamine, not regulating dopamine versus GABA. The high dopamine is going to give you hyperactivity, lack of focus, stimming, difficulty regulating emotions, inability to sleep, and much more. So what causes the basal ganglia to not regulate that properly? A lot of things. It's a very sensitive part of the brain, particularly to the gut-brain axis. It is very sensitive to infections like strep, EBV, viruses, and then also heavy metals. So the dopaminergic action, managing dopamine, puts out oxidative stress, so it can tend to hold on to inflammation in this area very easily. So the things that, let's make this as simple as I can, the things that can dysregulate the basal ganglia are infections. Whether it's bacterial like strep, whether it's viral like EBV, maybe you don't even know these things are going on, but they're chronic and underlying. It could be candida overgrowth. When the gut-brain axis, you can have a whole bunch of stuff going on in the gut. If those junctions are not tight, it is communicating both ways. Again, that could be strep, that could be viruses, that could be a lot going on in the guts. And then heavy metals is very sensitive to heavy metals. What ultimately does this do? It disrupts the mitochondria. Motor movement and speaking is a very high function task. Inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction, low inflammation, are all at play here. So the things that we need to focus on to help maybe regulate the basal ganglia, therefore help regulate stimming on the outside, because we're regulating the dopamine, I'm going to tell you a little bit different way to go about this. Instead of taking something just for dopamine, instead of taking something that's just a detox, instead of taking something that's just for the gut, I'm going to tell you something you can do. When you help the mitochondria, when you're doing all these things, the mitochondria are better, there are more availability. It can give the cells the energy to do the things it needs to do, the right motor, the right speech, all of these things. So we reduce inflammation, we help the mitochondria, and we balance the immune system. Some people's immune systems, some of these kids' immune systems are super overactive. Some of them are underactive. Instead of addressing one thing, a lot of supplements or a lot of products will address TH1 of the immune system, the leg of the immune system. Some of those will address TH2. Instead of balancing, we don't want to regulate, we don't want to downregulate everybody. We want the body to balance. And the body is a miracle. It knows how to do this. It's just a little dysregulated. We need to give it a little help. So when we can help balance the immune system, reduce inflammation, and increase oxygen utilization at the cellular level, this is going to increase Q10 production in the electron transport chain. This is going to protect dopaminergic neurons. Instead of addressing one thing, then the next, or taking 50 things at one time, when we can help the body to regulate itself, it will do all of these things, including detox. Our body knows how to detox. Glutathione is our master antioxidant and master detoxifier in every cell. Our body knows what to do in the most gentle, perfect way. When we support increase of glutathione and balancing, it's all about balance, not increasing or decreasing anything. Balancing the immune system, it knows how to do these things. So please drop your questions below. Follow for more if you have a neurodivergent child and love like deep cellular health. If you've watched this long, you've already taken this, take more. You might be taking one when you can give your kid 8 in a day. It is safe for all ages, including pregnant women. This is not medical advice. This is just a very natural, God-given polysaccharide that does incredible things for the body when you take it. So drop all your questions below. I do have, if you go to my page, you click on my name, you go to my page, there's a link in my bio. This is there. Feel free to message me with any questions. I'm sorry this is so long. I hope you guys have a good day.